These are Formula One laps, but they get increasingly more epic.
It's a late lunge by Verstappen!
No, Mikey, no, Mikey.
There goes the tyre, let's go!
Is that Clark going slowly?
It is,
That's
it's Clark!
Clark!
Oh my goodness me!
See, no disrespect to the FIA, but 2023 Australia made him look like they were flipping pages mid-race. If races were symphonies, then this one was played on a kazoo. I mean, we had 3 red flags. 3 in one race. You'd think that would be enough for a full Drive to Survive season. Plot twists, character deaths, resurrected podiums, and a finale that made absolutely zero sense. It all started with some chill chaos, usual midfield drama. First one thanks to Albon kissing the wall.
Alex Albon off, Alex Albon out, and as you can see, he's lost his front wing too. And that's Williams stranded on the...
Then a second one due to a wheel here and there. Right, Kevin?
Well, they just drove.
You got damage. Rear suspension broken.
So race restarts at lap 57.
Down away we go, Hamilton gets away well, Verstappen comes over to try and cut him off and does so. Second place, and there's contact! Carlos Sainz spins Fernando Alonso around!
Sainz taps Alonso in turn 1, spinning the man and sending him to the barriers. But he survived.
How the hell you can put a red flag before?
Behind them, absolute demolition derby.
Double podium or a race win, absolutely evaporated. We've got another red flag. That should be the race over.
Gasly drifts wide, comes back in, and accidentally yeets his own teammate Ocon. Sargent goes full American Gladiator and dive bombs to Freeze like it's a battle royale.
Well, we're just seeing Logan Sargent running into the back of the Alpha Tauri.
So obviously, red flag.
Red flag.
And that's when things went really off the rails. FIA gathers everyone like a confused PE teacher mid-dodgeball game and goes, okay, line up again, same order as the last restart. No, not this lap, the lap before that. Bro, what? You mean the one before everyone exploded? It was given serious Avengers Endgame energy, like they hit the time stone and rewound everything except Carlos's penalty. The man got slapped with a 5-second time penalty for spinning Alonso in a lap that, according to FIA logic, technically never existed. Poor Carlos was tilted, like full meltdown.
Please, guys, do something, please. I cannot still believe it. We are P3 and P4, and they will put me out of the points for that.
You could hear his soul evaporate in mid-sentence. Meanwhile, Fernando, he just casually gets put back to P3 like nothing happened. Technically, they finished under a rolling restart after the 3rd red flag. No overtakes allowed, just vibes.
You will then take the checkered flag. The rolling start, i.e. just take the checkered flag. There is no overtaking until the line.
Everyone was confused, and to be honest, I loved every second of it. That's the kind of chaos you don't script, you survive it. Honestly, if you understood what just happened in this race, you're already smarter than half the FIA, so go ahead and subscribe. You've earned it, legend. Now let's dive into a different flavor of pain, the kind that hits when you're leading and then you aren't. How would you feel if your race included a crash, 5 pit stops, a drive-through, last place, and you still won? Yeah, Canada 2011 wasn't just a race. It was a war, a modern warfare. Jenson Button started from P7, and early on he was having a solid race, until everything went sideways. First, a front wing tap with teammate Hamilton on lap 8. Lewis ends up hitting the wall.
Jensen put me in the wall. Okay, understood, Lewis, understood.
Race over. Jensen, he just picked up a puncture and dived into the pits, rejoining P12. Okay, annoying, but recoverable, right? Nope. Strike 2 came almost instantly. During the safety car period, JB exceeded the speed limit.
A drive-through penalty for Jenson Button, who's just in front of Paul di Resta. So Button's really made some gains in this lap, but he's got a drive-through penalty.
It was like, no, this is not what I wanted.
Then, the sky fell apart. Rain turned Montreal into a swimming pool. Cars aquaplaned, visibility vanished, and chaos spread like wildfire. The race was red flagged on lap 25, and everyone waited and waited for over 2 hours.
Red flag was the best option, the only option.
As you know, during the red flag, mechanics are allowed to work on the cars, so Button's crew throws on fresh inters, ready to fight when the race finally resumed. Then came lap 37. Alonso goes around the outside and contact.
Ted, have we got a the Ferrari off. It's Fernando Alonso's beats the Ferrari.
The Spaniard spins into retirement. Jensen, he's picked up damage again. That's stop number 5.
Oh, Button, who is in the pits for the 4th time, I believe it is.
And now P21, dead last. At this point, it was just absurd. Most drivers would have mentally checked out, not the Brit.
You have to make sure that you are pushing unbelievably hard on the dry areas. I remember coming to the field, loving it, the fight, and it was very difficult to overtake.
He began slicing through the field like he was late for a flight. Lap after lap, car after car, wet line, dry line, a line, hairline. It was served on a silver platter. Anyway, final lap arrives. Vettel leads. The reigning world champ, undefeated under pressure until now.
Has Vettel got what it takes to hold him off? I think Vettel's got Wade. Yeah, he's got Wade. He turned in too late. He got the tyres. Button leads the Grand Prix. The Waters, the final lap of the Grand Prix.
I'm leading the race, and I've got sort of 6 corners to go. Let's not mess it up,
Astonishing. From last to first.
I enjoyed every corner, enjoyed every moment of that lap, but was also super tense.
Jensen Button into the pit straight. He wins a brilliant race. It's a sensational drive for Button. What a victory.
Guys, that was a hell of a race. A hell of a race. Fantastic win. We deserved that after the race we've had, so thank you guys so much.
It felt outrageous. It felt impossible. And yet, it happened. Demonstrating once again that sometimes it's about people in suits making calls that straight up kill the vibe. Coming up, one of those moments. See, no disrespect to team orders.
You are allowed to race Oscar Papyrus.
Okay, actually scratch that. Full disrespect to team orders. Because in Austria 2002, the prancing horse delivered one of the most dog shit wins in F1 history. It all started with Rubens. That weekend, he was the guy, not Michael. Took pole, led every single lap, and didn't put a wheel wrong. 0 mistakes. The guy was on rails. However, then came the final lap. And if you've watched my video, you know what's coming. So, come on everybody, repeat after me.
Sure, it doesn't mean anything, James, but I've just seen Jean Todt pass a little note across the pit wall.
Let Michael pass for the championship.
You heard it. That was the radio call, out loud, to the world. Barrichello said no at first, but after a couple of friendly reminders from the pit wall, the Brazilian caved. He lifted right before the line and let Michael through. The crowd instantly lost it, booing, whistling. Even the Kaiser looked embarrassed. He tried pulling Rubens onto the top step like, bro, this isn't how I wanted to win. Too late.
Ross Rubens had won that race, hadn't he?
Oh yes, Rubens won the race today, but in the interest of Ferrari and the Drivers' Championship, we've made the decision.
And just when you thought it couldn't get any weirder, Ferrari doubled down. Fast forward to the race at Indianapolis. Ferrari clearly panicked after Austria because what they did next was, it was hilarious. They made up this scripted photo finish where Rubens and Michael slowed way down on the final straight to try and cross together.
Michael Schumacher as they go side by side across the line. Who's going to win this Grand Prix? It's a mystery. It's Michael Schumacher. 11th win of the season. Nice touch, Ferrari.
Everything looks normal, right? Except it wasn't. It was cringe. The timing was so sus that the FIA launched an investigation. Turns out Rubens technically won by 0.011 seconds, but nobody cared. Low-key, I don't blame Rubens for staying quiet. You could just tell this man had fully accepted his role as Ferrari's emotional punching bag.
What should I do? I have on the contract that I have to obey others as much as Michael. He has on the same clause. Eventually, the FIA fined the Scuderia with $1 million and pretended to ban team orders. Sort of. They just told everyone to whisper next time, or use weird phrases.
Sebastian, multi-map 2-1, multi-map 2-1.
So yeah, stereo was controlled pain, premeditated, executed, and broadcasted in high definition. But up next, that's it for us with scripted drama. Now we're diving into unscripted disaster. Like when everything goes down the drain without a good reason. Yeah, you know not ready. Let's rewind to 2005. Kimi gave us one of the most cursed final laps in F1 history. The FIA was out here cooking up innovations, and by that I mean they banned mid-race tire changes. Like, bro, imagine running a marathon and being told you can't drink water. Sounds like an L already, right? Well, Kimi lived it. You could either nurse those tires to the finish or pray the car didn't snap in half first. And surprise, surprise, one of those happened. Iceman was goated that day. He didn't start on pole. That was Nick Heidfeld schmoovin' in a Williams. But the moment the lights went out, Kimi launched that McLaren like he owed it money. By the end of turn 1, he was gone.
Great start by Raikkonen. You see Williams not great again off the start line. Look at Webber going defensive, trying to defend. No, he's now.
Alonso tried keeping up, but he was straight up grinding, holding on like a man chasing rain. Now fast forward to lap 35-ish and things get sketchy. Kimi locked up into turn 1 and flat spotted the front right tyre so bad it was basically square. At that point, the tyre was just screaming for retirement benefits. You could feel the car vibrating through the screen. The onboard sounded like the thing was drumming its own funeral beat. But McLaren, they looked at that and said, we gotta keep going, man. No pit stop. Just a whole team praying to the gods of tyre rubber. Lap 60, final lap, Alonso still chasing, and then...
Just misses the VAR. I said he should have pitted. I told you he would have got a podium if he'd pitted. Instead of which he's going to get absolutely nothing.
Turn 1 hits different. The suspension snaps. Like, fully snaps. Kimi's car just goes straight like it rage quit mid-corner. It just yeeted itself into the runoff. Alonso flew by like he unlocked a cheat code. Took the win.
He hunted down Raikkonen. He has his 4th Grand Prix victory on this extraordinary 2005 World Championship.
So Kimi, you don't regret anything about the last lap, do you?
No, we took the risk and we wanted to win the race, but unfortunately it didn't pay off.
And that's what hits the hardest. Kimi didn't bottle it. He didn't choke. The man was clutching a race win with ruined tyres and a half-dead car. Tragic. And low-key, one of the most brutal endings ever. And talking about brutal, there was this driver. One that beat Hamilton in equal machinery. You know who I'm talking about, huh? See, when Mercedes announced, let them race, people thought, finally, a team that actually trusts its drivers. Oh, how wrong we were.
Rosberg and Hamilton's onto the grass, and Hamilton's had a massive crash, and he's crashed into his teammate. The two Mercedes come together.
Look, 2016 had everything. Dominance, drama, and two drivers who made the same garage feel like a divorce court.
But what about in terms of mending bridges with your friend?
Well, we're not friends.
By the time they arrived at the Red Bull ring, you didn't need instruments to sense the tension. At this point in the season, Rosberg had the points lead. He had the momentum. And Lewis, well, he was still delivering.
Lewis Hamilton winning the British Grand Prix at Silverstone.
Just not consistently. Mostly because he had to fight his own teammate half the time. Anyway, we get to race day. Of course, when it came to the Mercs, let them race actually means let them self-destruct. The race itself was already chaos.
Lights out and away we go. Hamilton gets away well, as does Raikkonen. Jenson Button covers him off.
Hamilton lost the lead early due to a pit stop that was slower than a Windows update.
Soft compound tyres going on for Hamilton, but it's a slower stop. And Nico Rosberg has just flashed past our commentary box at a rate of knots. There he goes. Nico Rosberg overtakes his teammate Lewis Hamilton.
Meanwhile, Rosberg took over and started frying. But here's the thing, you don't lead a race with Hamilton behind you and just chill. As the laps counted down, Lewis reeled him in. Final lap, Hamilton sent it into turn 2 with that classic, I don't care if we both DNF energy.
Got the inside line, they've touched again! Hamilton runs wide, and is he going to come onto the track and touch his teammate? He's now got damage. Nico Rosberg to his front wing, bits of carbon fibre.
Bro didn't even aim for the apex. He aimed for the side pod. The contact was sketchy. Hamilton somehow survived and got the lead. Rosberg, front wing snapped. Game over.
Rosberg might not even end up on the podium. He's been passed by the Red Bull and the Ferrari as well.
Well, technically he still crossed the line P4. To make things worse, the stewards gave Rosberg a 10-second penalty and 2 points on his license. At the end of the day, Hamilton got his first ever win in Austria and also made it 250 victories for British drivers in F1. Meanwhile, Nico just made it clear that, yeah, they weren't going to hug it out at the end of this one.
But anyways, I was still in a good position to defend, and I had the inside line, and it's my corner, you know, on the inside, and I was very surprised that Lewis decided to turn in.
I went to the right to the white line, so perhaps it was his corner, but he made a mistake and crashed into me, so...
Honestly, this race was peak Mercedes drama. High-stakes title fight? Check. Teammates beefing? Check. Someone forgetting how corners work? Absolutely. And just when you thought teammate beefs were the best of Merc drama, they said, hold my tyre. Because at Silverstone, they didn't just miss the apex. They lost a quarter of the car, literally. The W11 was goated that year. Full cheat code mode. Straight line speed? Cracked. Tyre wear? Supposedly elite. Everyone kinda expected Lewis to stroll his way to win 7 at home. Well, not quite. The first half of the race, pretty chill.
This Silverstone race is starting to really come alive here.
But then, lap 50, that's when Silverstone decided to go full final boss mode.
He's at the moment, and what's happened to Valtteri Bottas? He's gone wide, and now Max Verstappen can see the Mercedes and can see him in his rear wing.
Boom. Bottas's front left tyre just yeets itself into another dimension. No warning. He goes from P2 to nowhere, straight out of the points. Then Sainz gets the same fate 1 lap later. Front left puncture. Same story.
He's got tyre problems as well. That's Carlos Sainz, who's going to be passed now by his teammate Lando Norris.
By now, it's obvious something's a bit sus. Like, these tyres weren't just worn, they were straight up done. And guess who's still out there grinding on those same cursed hards? Yup. Lewis. Final lap, he's in the lead. Verstappen is 30 seconds behind. Should be a walk in the park. But Silverstone says, plot twist incoming.
That is Lewis Hamilton, and Hamilton is winning the Grand Prix. But look at the state of that Mercedes car.
That same damn tyre, front left again, just gives out. Like full on exploded. And here's where it gets ridiculous.
Something happened to my left tyre also. So 1 more lap, Lewis, just bring it home.
Hamilton doesn't stop. He doesn't slow down. The guy just drives. For like half the lap, with 1 tyre flopping around like a broken ankle. Verstappen, flying.
Who is slow?
Hamilton, puncture, turn 12.
Can we win this?
If you get on with it.
If you get on with it, it's the right instruction. Verstappen's just going through Woodcote. He's about 4 corners behind.
So Verstappen 30 seconds behind.
The gap shrinks.
Here comes Lewis Hamilton. Verstappen just going through. You can see him in the background.
20.
17 seconds to 16 seconds.
10.
10 seconds to Verstappen.
Through the Vale chicane. Look how difficult it was to stop.
Hamilton, turn 15.
The checkered flag will come in the nick of time for a 7th British Grand Prix victory and a record 7th British Grand Prix victory for the most wins at home. It's Lewis Hamilton. What a dramatic end to a British Grand Prix here at Silverstone.
And Verstappen did get fastest lap on that last lap, hunting Lewis Hamilton down.
Oh, f***'s sake, mate.
He's a lucky boy. He's a lucky boy.
That was close.
On 3 wheels with 5.8 seconds to spare. What? So yeah, Hamilton has a flair for the dramatic, but a last lap title decider in the pouring rain with a midfield car being the final boss, we're talking certified cinema. Let's go to Brazil. Now imagine being world champ for 38 seconds. That was Felipe Massa's reality, and the universe said, fuck you. It's like proposing to your girlfriend at a stadium. The crowd cheers, the kiss happens, the camera zooms in, and then she whispers, I actually said no.
Wow. Well,
The 2008 season had been a grind. Hamilton was cooking with that McLaren all year, but he was still only 7 points ahead going into Brazil. And the guy chasing him? Felipe frickin' Massa, hometown hero, Ferrari red, ready to send it in front of a stadium packed with his people. Lights out in Interlagos and the whole place is vibing.
Right here, right now, Massa on the left, Trulli on the right, look out for Hamilton on the pit wall side. It's a cautious getaway from Hamilton. He's running down, Raikkonen is in front of him, and you can see that Alonso has not been able to make ground on him. Vettel is wasn't going to take any chances.
Rain's coming down. Massa's leading like it's personal. Meanwhile, Hamilton, he's sweating. Every corner is stress. Every car in front of him is a potential L. And there were a lot of cars. Then comes the real chaos. Around lap 63, the track starts to dry. Dry enough that everyone's like, yo, time for slicks? And then, plot twist. It starts raining again with just a few laps to go. Classic Interlagos. Classic pain.
What is Hamilton going to do? Is he just going to cover Massa? No, he's coming in.
He's got to come in without losing any pace. Now Hamilton needs it to rain hard.
This is amazing, the final stages of this World Championship.
So what do most drivers do? They pit for intermediates, like sane people, but not Timo Glock. He stays out on dry tyres, and since everyone else is in the pit, he jumps up the order. He's suddenly P4. Massa's winning.
He's got grip, Hamilton's lost it. Oh my goodness me, Vettel's taken the place, and that could cost Hamilton the World Championship.
Hamilton's stuck in 6th. That's it, game over. The title goes to Ferrari. The fans are already dancing. But hold on, lap 71, the final one. Glock's tyres are beyond finished. He's crawling, and behind him, Hamilton, charging like a man possessed. Final corners.
Comes through to claim his 6th victory of the season. He has done everything he needed to do, and we wait now to find out who will be the world champion of 2008. Can Hamilton do anything? Can he run it up the inside of Vettel? Only a few corners to go now.
Is that Glock going slowly?
It is, it's Glock! Oh my goodness me! Hamilton's back in position again! 100,000 local hearts sink in the grandstand, and I'm sure that he is going to claim 5th place, which is all he needs to do to become the 2008 Formula One World Champion, Lewis Hamilton. You will never see a more dramatic conclusion to any motor race, let alone a Grand Prix, than that.
Guys, I'm speechless. I'm speechless. That was so freaking close.
And just like that, the title is his.
Anthony, it's the moment you've been dreaming of for so many years. Anthony, just put into words your emotions right now.
I really can't find any words. Great, absolutely great, absolutely great.
Hamilton becomes the youngest champion in history.
I've cried. My heart's feeling so much strain right now because I think it was the same for everyone. But I'm just very proud of the team and my family as well.
And Massa walks off like a soldier in a war movie. I mean, the guy cried in his helmet. And you know what? It still hurts. For Ferrari, for Brazil. This was the most dramatic championship ending in modern F1 history. No debate. Pain, scenes, rain, and one absolute mad lad named Timo Glock. Let's just say if Brazil was pain, Abu Dhabi was trauma. Same stakes, different track, and somehow even more cursed. Maybe you know Abu Dhabi for the yacht parties, the fireworks, or the stadium tunnel, but 2021, it was the emotional drive-by no one recovered from. Hamilton and Verstappen entered Yas Marina tied in points.
The two drivers contesting this championship are separated by 0 points.
And trust me, the setup was cracked. Lewis had the pace, Max had the aggression. They had traded wins, crashes, and middle fingers all year long. Silverstone, send it.
The continent touch! Verstappen is out of the race, and that's a big crash into Cox!
Max, you okay?
Monza yeeted it into orbit.
And this time Verstappen and Hamilton have crashed out!
That's what you get when you don't leave the space.
Jeddah Penalty Simulator 3000.
To get into the lead of the race, they go wheel to wheel into the first corner. Verstappen has to bail out. Lewis Hamilton has to bail out Verstappen.
That was crazy now. So let's give the position back to Hamilton. Obviously, do that strategically.
Oh, they've touched and they've collided.
And now, Yas Marina was the final boss fight. And Lewis, he was cooking from the start.
It's lights out, away we go, and Hamilton gets a decent start, and he's already ahead of Max Verstappen.
Perfect launch, packed Max in turn 1, and just disappeared. By lap 15, he had the pace, the tyres, and the sauce.
Okay, Lewis, so box.
Max looked screwed. Hamilton was about to make history. 8th title, full redemption arc, until lap 53. Cue the safety car.
What's the situation behind?
So, situation is Verstappen has pitted. He had a free pit stop.
I can't box.
Negative.
That's unbelievable.
Question to Michael.
Yes, go ahead, Christian.
Yeah, why aren't we getting these lap cars out of the way?
Now, here's where it gets spicy. Michael Massey lets only 5 lapped cars between Max and Lewis unlap themselves. Just them. Not all, not none. Just enough for one overtake.
All the cars ahead of you are allowed to overtake Hamilton.
Well, this is highly unusual. Not all of the cars are allowed to unlap themselves.
Oh, no! So, there's confusion, but the safety car is coming in at the end of this lap.
That is so not right. That is so not right.
Final lap restart. Max is behind Lewis with tyre diff that looks illegal in 48 states.
This is it.
Get it! It's Verstappen! Far enough back, he's going to make the lunge down the inside! Hamilton sees him coming! It's a late lunge by Verstappen! Now snatches the champ! And it's going to 2021! Max Verstappen, for the first time ever, is champion! Oh my Lord, Max! Oh my God!
Yes! Oh my God! Max Verstappen, you are the world champion!
Max becomes world champion. After 57 laps of domination, Hamilton gets packed on the last one. Verstappen wins. First title, absolute scenes. And yeah, that was pain. Hamilton fans were tilted beyond repair. Max fans were gassed. Lewis sat in his car post-race. Helmet still on, not moving. That stare? Bro unlocked Alonso 2012 law in Ultra HD. This wasn't just a win. It was a full identity crisis for the sport. Even years later, we still ask, what the hell even was that? So, what did we learn today? Simple. In Formula 1, there's no such thing as a safe lap. From now, go hydrate. And if you're still in the mood, go watch a more relaxing video like this one. And as always, thank you for watching.